Just like any sewing machine, if it's not threaded correctly or the bobbin is in incorrectly, the bobbin wasn't filled correctly, a sewing machine will fight you every stitch of the way. So I want to show you how you properly put the bobbin in on the Husqvarna Viking Designer EPIC 2. So first off, let's just go ahead and slide this little lever to the right. That will pop up this door. Right now the machine is been loaded, and you notice before I pull it out, where do you see that little line of thread? It's coming right about or out of 730 area, that little opening, and it has been pushed up and the thread cutter cut it last. So it's just hiding right below here. So when I go to start sewing, I don't have to have that bobbin thread pulled up to the top of the machine like you might have on other models. Okay, so just lift it up and pull it out. You'll see that that's a very short distance that is left in there. First off, all your bobbins have an H on them for Husqvarna. So that will always be when you wind a bobbin on the side of the machine, it is always placed. It is always placed so that H is facing out, and then also when you lower it into the bobbin case here, that H is always on top. You know what that does is it makes sure that you never put it in incorrect. We will find that as you pull this, the bobbin spins counterclockwise. Pull the thread in right about 6 o'clock. If you put your finger on it and give it a little pull, you heard a little click. Goes in at 6, comes out about 7:30, and then you can actually take the thread over the top here and down where the arrow points you to come underneath, you'll find that there is a little cutter. Now you can go ahead and pull, but one thing I like to do is actually put the door over that and pull. Then when you start to sew, it's just the right amount of thread to go ahead and pull it up into the stitch, the first stitch that it's going to take. Watch what it's actually going to do is you'll find that it'll take a couple locking stitches and then start. We're just on a little decorative stitch here. So we'll let it stitch it out. I push the thread cutter button, finish the stitch, it locked it, and it's going to cut and lift the foot for me. Then on the back side, you will notice that little leftover thread has been cut. That's both the needle thread and the bobbin thread pulled to the back side. And again, this is where you see that little line of thread. So if you ever look down through the window, you'll notice if you see that, you know that it is incorrectly. I am going to just kind of take this out real quick, and I'm going to put it in. I might even try. I'm going to take a quick little stitch. But sometimes people will be sewing along and they're going to wonder why they're getting weird looking stitches here. And I'm going to just take my fabric, I'm going to slide that underneath, kind of flip that. So if you ever see this, where you don't see that line of thread, and see how loose that bobbin is, it's just going right off the bobbin, underneath the throat plate and out, up through the hole. See, there's no tension on it. That's just going to give you ugly stitches, even worse with embroidery. So just make sure that if you don't see that line that I pointed out earlier, that is the problem. The thread needs to be clicked in and positioned in the tension area.